Hello, everyone, and welcome back to day 4 of Vlogmas. My name is Carrie Ann Stout, and I am the founder and CEO of Binco, where we provide one-on-one support for your academic and professional needs. So today in day 4, we are going to talk about a topic that is near and dear to my heart, and that is social media, technology, and college students. So you may not know this about me, but in another part of my life, I am a college professor. I'm an adjunct, and but I teach a lot of classes, 2 to 3 a semester, and I teach political science, which, side note, has not been stressful at all for the past several years. But I have grown to have a serious love-hate relationship with social media. And I really have seen that there are a lot of missed opportunities for my college students to use and interact with social media in a way that could actually be beneficial to them instead of distracting. So obviously, one of my biggest pet peeves as a professor is when a student is sitting there on their phone during class, scrolling TikTok with their headphones in, checking Instagram, whatever the case may be, probably some social media platform that is too cool for me and I haven't even heard about it yet. And it really bothers me, but maybe not for the reasons that you would think. A lot of times you'll hear from professors like that it's disrespectful or, they need to be the star of the show. And I don't feel that way. I feel that yes, you should respect the sort of position of professor, but also you are very likely paying a lot of money to be sitting in that classroom and you have the opportunity to learn something. And it really grinds my gears seeing students waste that opportunity. And it doesn't matter what it is, whether it is a political science class or a regular science class or a nursing class or math, or pottery, watercolor, web design. It really doesn't matter, even if it's not your major, even if it's something that is not what you're going to school for, there is the opportunity for you to learn. And zoning out on social media is not the optimal way for you to go about learning something in any given class. Now, I know attention spans are short, so I'm going to keep it to 3 simple ways that you can utilize social media and/or technology for good in your classes and to help you improve your grades rather than as a distraction. So tip number 1 is to subscribe, follow, whatever the terminology is on whatever social media platform you prefer, to people and businesses that are sharing information that could actually be useful to you. For example, this is very meta, but this is a video on YouTube. YouTube is a social media platform, but hopefully this video is not a distraction because it's actually teaching you something that is helpful to you in your college setting. And you can find all sorts of tips and tutorials and different things that can be helpful to you in college. And you can even find great advice and great information on TikTok. Now, with all things, you want to check the reliability and credibility of the person who's giving you the information, right? Do please look up that I am a college professor, that I've been doing it for 7 years, that I've passed through bar exams. Do check out my credentials before you take my advice and make sure that I am qualified to be giving you the advice I'm giving you. And please do that with anyone else who you're following as well. But that doesn't mean just because it's on social media that it's not credible. One of my favorite people that I follow on TikTok is a scientist who gives little bite-sized updates about the pandemic. And I find that really helpful. It's easy to digest. He's very funny and delivers it in a way that I can understand and is not terrifying like most of what we see on the news. So that's great. I'm getting quick information that's helpful to me. You can find people talking about anything under the sun that could be helpful to you in your classes, study tips, substantive information, whatever it is, you can find them on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and follow them. Tip number 2 is to leverage your social media networks to build your professional networks. So a couple of things to keep in mind if you're going to do this. figure out what social media platforms you are going to use for professional and for fun. So, for example, I use LinkedIn as primarily a professional social media network. Twitter is more of a professional social media network. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook are more on the social side. So if they're more on the social side for you, obviously nobody needs to see you chugging beers at a party or whatever it is you do in your free time who you may want to have as a future employer, right? Or a future colleague or coworker. So figure out which platforms you want to use professionally and then make sure they are professional. Put a nice picture of yourself. And again, it doesn't have to be uptight and stuffy. Like I have pink hair. Clearly, I think that there's a range of what is professionally acceptable. But, be covered up, be, professional. How should I say this? Show up however it is you would show up to an interview, right? If you took a picture of me right now, I would use this as my LinkedIn profile picture. This is definitely something that I would wear in a professional setting. And so I'm comfortable with that representing who I am on social media. A lot of people make the mistake that and think that like professional has to be this like super stuffy and super formal thing. No, you just have to decide who you are going to be professionally, how you want to be perceived, and then make sure that your social media reflects that. And so once you have your profile in tip top shape, you've filled out everything, it's complete, you have your picture, you've maybe cleaned it up if there are any things there that are not super professional that you wouldn't want to reflect as a professional person, and then start connecting with people in areas that you think you might be interested in. Thinking of going to law school, connect with lawyers, connect with current law students, connect with law professors. Same thing, thinking of going to med school, thinking of getting a PhD, whatever. Graduating with a marketing degree or a business degree, connect with business owners, connect with people who are in those fields, follow them on Twitter, retweet them. Start creating and posting your own content about those things, right? Follow the latest in your industry and tweet it. Type up a couple of paragraphs about your thoughts on something that are happening in your industry and post it on LinkedIn. These things don't take very much time and they can really help you. I'm here to tell you that every job and opportunity I have ever had, I got through a connection. And I don't mean that in like the sleazy backdoor way that we think about, oh, if you have to know someone. No, I mean a mentor from college recommended me for a position or thought of me for something, or a coworker from a previous job who I had made a good impression on let me know when there was an opportunity at their new job, right? That is how the world works. And if you want those opportunities, a great way to start making those connections is through your social media profiles. And finally, my third tip for leveraging social media as a college student is to curate feeds that inspire you. And there is a lot of negativity on social media, a lot of shame, a lot of comparison, and a lot of things that can make us feel bad about ourselves, like we're not doing enough, like we're not good enough, like we will never measure up to these standards. Right? And you've heard it before, but I think it bears repeating that what we're seeing on social media is somebody's highlight reel. Even this video, I am about 2/3 of the way done shooting it, and my video editor is going to have to cut out me rolling my eyes and throwing my hands up multiple times because I messed this up. This is not perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm just a normal person, right? And so are you. And so are all of the people who you follow on social media. And so, one way I think that students get really tripped up with social media is that they get in this like spiral with it. And there's a reason it's so addictive. And then it's like, why bother? Why bother studying for my French test? Because I can't do as well in it because I'm not this perfect person that I see on social media. And even if it's not happening actively in your brain, it could be happening beneath the surface, right? Like the idea of there's no point in getting started because I'm never going to be able to do that thing. The other thing that sometimes happens with social media is we start to think if I don't have all of these tools, I can't do it. Right. So if we see someone who has like this laptop, or I need these AirPods to get started, or whatever it is, like I need that thing to be successful. And unless it's like an academic or medical accommodation, it's very rarely the case that you need whatever the thing is to be successful. It's usually just your brain's way of protecting yourself from doing something scary. So I want to encourage you to cultivate your social media to be a place where you can go be inspired. Want to be a doctor? Follow doctors, follow people who are doing the things that you want to do and use them as inspiration. And try not to let the time you're spending on social media should be a break. So try not to let it become this really draining experience for you that then prevents you from being able to get your work done. Listen, I am as guilty as the next person of falling into a TikTok black hole and looking up 2 hours later and saying, like, who am I? What year is this? So none of this comes from a place of judgment. I just know that collectively, college students are capable of doing better. And I know that collectively, a big part of the reason that they don't is because of the relationship that they have to social media. So I thought if I could share even just 3 quick tips with you that could help you change your relationship with social media and help you put it into the bigger picture and the perspective of what you're doing in college, that's what I'm here to do. So I hope that these tips were helpful for you. If you have any other things that you do to have a healthy relationship with social media, leave it in the comments. I mean, this is a really important topic, and I think people can absolutely benefit from it. Otherwise, thank you for spending some time with me today. I will be back tomorrow with another video. As always, if you have any questions, you can email us at info@vincoprep.com, or you can head over to our website, vincoprep.com. Have a great rest of your day. Hair looks really good. Now, I know attention to oh God, okay. And helpful. This is painful. Tip number 2 is to leverage. You're gonna have an amazing blooper reel from this video alone.